Soaring high above sea level, remote mountain living offers peace, tranquility, and stunning vistas.
You don't come across views like that more than once in a lifetime. It is somewhere that, once seen, it would never be forgotten.
But building a home at altitude, exposed to the elements, often with no running water or even roads, is an endurance test only the bravest take on.
Piers and I will be travelling from the southern Alps of New Zealand to the peaks of the Swiss Alps.
And from the heat of the desert ranges of Arizona to the coastal mountains of California. Discovering what it takes to design, build and live in the world's most extraordinary mountain homes.
The first stop on our mountainside adventure takes us to the City of Angels. But we're not here to see the sights. Piers and I are leaving downtown LA behind and winding high into the Santa Monica Mountains, where one homeowner built her dream home from the most unthinkable reused building material.
The woman who owns this house, has built this house, spent years looking for the right plot of land.
She did. 15 years. 15 years.
But she did look all over the world.
The owner of our first mountainside retreat wanted a building with feminine curves that would sit lightly on this coastal mountain range.
So her architect looked to the skies and found inspiration in the most unlikely of places.
The house we're going to see is a proper statement.
And when it comes to making a statement, it doesn't get any bigger than this. Built from the wings and tail fins of a disused Boeing 747, this award-winning house is one of a kind. There it is.
You've got to be happy with that.
I think we're here.
Yeah. Are you impressed?
I think I'm awed by how beautiful it is being here.
Yeah.
This is so quirky. It's lovely seeing the wings against the sky, isn't it? The thin edges.
It's outrageous.
It is.
Actually.
It is.
So how does an architect go about acquiring a disused Boeing 747?
I like being under the wing.
Me too.
I think it's really comforting.
Yeah.
So it is, I mean, it is like a bird's wing in a way, isn't it?
This would also encourage the breeze across it, because you could open those windows at the back on a really hot day, because aircraft wings are designed to bring air under them. So this would be naturally ventilated. And actually planes, remember, are the best engineered things in the world. So everything is beautifully made, beautifully put together, incredibly durable, the best materials. I mean, architects are obsessed by nuts and bolts and fixings and how things are made. And it is a beautiful, beautiful thing. But at the same time, it looks quite homemade, doesn't it?
It does. All the little squares of whatever.
Surprising.
What's the metal?
Aluminium.
So little squares of aluminium just sort of riveted together.
Yeah, well, it would have been patched, actually, and repaired over the years, because, you know, they're used for 40 years or something. At ground level, this eccentric building blends seamlessly into the mountainous landscape. But from the air, the shape of the wings is clearly visible.
There was a real risk that pilots could confuse it for a downed plane. So the project had to be registered and cleared with 17 government agencies, including Homeland Security.
Here we go, just another day on the wing of a 747.
Just enjoying ourselves.
Taking flight.
Striding out. Cool.
With 2 wings, 2 tail fins, and a 55-acre plot to play with, the architect was able to create a main house and a guest house for the owner. The 747 wings are the perfect curvilinear design to float on top of the 2 buildings to maximize the views while providing a roof which requires minimal structural support. Concrete rear supporting walls were built into the hillside and enclosed with panoramic glass facades, allowing light to enter the living spaces throughout the day. The wings were then positioned on top of steel frame supports and secured where the engines were previously mounted.
Stepping inside this two-bedroom home, you immediately get a sense of how effective the wings really are.
It's great.
Yeah. It's actually almost better inside because it reads as an abstract bit of art up there.
That is a great view up there, isn't it?
Yeah, lovely.
Like a little mini invitation to go upstairs and see up there.
And there's more creative use of recycled plane parts. This section of the fuselage has been turned into a hatch through from the study to the kitchen.
It's nice from the back, this.
Very nice.
Isn't it?
Seeing all those rivets and so on.
Heading upstairs takes you above the wing to the master bedroom.
It's beautiful.
This is my best bit.
Me too.
Is it? It's a set, isn't
Yeah.
it, really? It's not actually real mountains. It's a very well-painted backdrop from a Hollywood movie.
It is. And looking out and seeing the wing at the end is so surreal, isn't it?
I don't think I'd ever tire of looking at those mountains.
Hi.
How are you doing? Good.
Lovely to meet you. Thank you so much.
After interviewing over a dozen architects, the person Francie entrusted with building on her mountainside plot was Californian architect and now friend David Hertz.
So you've been having some fun here.
We have. Francie's brief was to create a tranquil, eco-friendly home, and the inspiration for the design came to David at 30,000 feet.
At any point did you think, I've made a terrible mistake here, I've employed a madman? Did you? Yeah. Did you? Did you?
At which point?
When it was too late.
Yeah.
And I feel so lucky.
It is lovely.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Thank you.
We're not leaving.
That's why I have
Stay.
only one guest bedroom.
As the sun starts to drop behind the mountains, what better way to enjoy the view than a sunset wing walk?
Thank you so much for the most extraordinary day. It's been really wonderful. A toast, if I may, to the wing house.
I think what's really interesting is that despite it being quite a sensible house in terms of how they describe it, actually, it's really romantic.
It is. Sort of dream come true.
It is.
By the mountains.